All right, I think we have started the recording, and I want to welcome everybody to our Saturday morning success training with Relive. I'm Dawn Tucci, and I always feel honored to be able to lead this training. So many of my counterparts throughout the country do such an amazing job, and so just appreciate having an opportunity to share it for you guys. We all have our own experiences and our own journey with Relive. Mine is 15 years long. So I'm going to share some things about building our business today and my take on some of that. And I've done a lot of things wrong and I've done a lot of things right. And also, I'd like to talk about customer service. I feel like that's such an important part of what we do. As Tom or Ryan or somebody said, 90% of the people that are coming to us want our products and we need to give them good customer service. So let's get started. I'll share a little bit about my journey for those that don't know me. I'm Dawn Tucci and I am a registered dietitian, and I said no to Relive the first time it was offered to me. I hadn't seen supplements do much for people, and it was also network marketing, which I had a bad impression of. But I went into menopause after my friend called me the first time, and I was miserable when she called me the next time. I'd worked in pharmaceuticals. I didn't want to go that route. I was taking a lot of herbs that I was buying, and nothing seemed to be working. So I was all ears when she called me again. And that's kind of something that we need to remember is just because someone says absolutely not, it doesn't mean that life isn't going to change for them and they might become open. But I started on the products for the menopause reasons. And within 4 months, my headaches started to go away. By 6 months, my depression was gone. So was my TMJ pain. I would have never thought that had anything to do with nutrition. By a year, I stopped having hypoglycemia symptoms. I've always had hypoglycemia my whole life. And by a year and a half, the hormonal stuff was not an issue. The migraines were gone. I had better stamina and sleep than I never had in my life. And I had also was having knee issues, which had not resolved at that point, but I added Arthefect to my shake, just put a scoop of that in. And within months, I was back to running, and someone challenged me to run the Pittsburgh Half Marathon, which I thought I'm going to have pain if I do that. But I trained for it, no pain, ran the race, no pain. It was amazing. And I've run several half marathons since that time. So this these products have allowed me to live a better life than I would have lived without it. I know that. A lot of other little things that have changed, but also in my children to help them control allergies, and everybody have a strong immune system. Sickness is very rare for us. I was sick about 5 years ago and I haven't even had a cold since then. So not to brag, but I'm just saying my immune system, I'm pretty darn sure, is strong. So from there, I changed my mind about the products, but I started telling my friend what I was hearing, and she wanted them. And the doctors could not help her. And I watched her change. And I saw that with another lady that I knew at my school where my kids go to school. So for me to see that kind of evidence was amazing, and got my own results, and then just continued to help people part time, overtime. And there's more to that story, but really that's probably all you need to know, is that that was my beginning, and it just evolved over time with more and more and more people getting on board. So we're going to talk about how people get on board and why they stay on board, and that has to do with customer service. But first, here's a quote that I really like. You're going to see another one from Maya Angelou, but I wanted to put this up before we really got started. Love who you are, love what you do, love how you do it. I think this applies so much to what we do. It applies to anyone that you need to love who you are. Another topic for another day, right? But your attitude about yourself, about what you're doing. And this is something that is fun. I mean, it's definitely work, and I definitely have my moments, but overall, I would say I love what I do, and then love how you do it. And that's, we're going to talk about the interaction with people side, but enjoy what you're doing to help others in the process. So we represent Relive International. We've been in business for 33 years. We are a food, science, and nutrition company. Our products, some of them are clinically proven, some are patented. Everything is backed by science, and we have a guarantee on our products and on our business. That is unheard of. We are the only epigenetic nutrition company in the US and leading the world in epigenetics. We definitely are a company with strong family values and integrity. And this is our headquarters in St. Louis, or Chesterfield, I guess is more accurate, Missouri. So Relive has your solution, whether you're thinking about your finances or you're thinking about your health or you're thinking about your purpose. Relive has your solution. We're going to talk about the products first, then the compensation plan, and then the success system. So the products are why I'm here. They work flat out. I've been here for 15 years. I never really took supplements before that. Not only am I here 15 years later, those people that started with me 15 years ago, they're still taking these products. That is a huge statement. And that's because our core nutrition is a synergistic blend of nutrition that heals the body at a cellular level and heals the body at an epigenetic level. And as I said, clinically proven formulas. It's the balance and the synergism that makes Relive different. My professors where I went to college take this product because it is a liquid. It's a powder that goes into a liquid. So here are our choices. Classic was the first product created. That's our flagship product created right after World War II and given a patent, and it's never changed. We added to that a sister product called Now, and it has a soy base just like Classic, and that was when our company formed to give people a sweet version of Classic. And then we added a Now with Whey to give the option of another protein source. That was a couple years ago. And we also have kids products, which are chocolate or vanilla, and they're delicious, and they have brain nutrition for the kids. Sometimes we need targeted solutions. I've needed a couple of them. And FiberStore, I know it's on this page, but in my book, FiberStore is essential. So I would maybe put it up there with the core products. That's just me. We have to clean ourselves out. We have to make our circulatory system function right. And FiberStore does that very, very well. We have some targeted stuff. I use the joint product, Artifact, because of the issues with my knees. The cartilage was worn. The side effect of that was the joint discomfort in my fingers went away, and I don't deal with any of that. And my relatives have those big giant knuckles that are hard to live with, and I don't want those. So for the future, I want to keep that at bay. But there's something for the heart health, diabetes and blood sugar management, metabolic syndrome would be Glucofect. 24K is made for the brain, amazing product that people use for mental focus. And reverse aging, I'm all about that, reversing the age of the skin and organs, and also helps with the menopause issue in my situation, along with Soy Essentials, which is herbs for women's wellness. Provantage, I have to tell you that I fell on the ice yesterday. I know we were talking about where we live. Well, I live where it was the land of ice yesterday, and I didn't think about it. I was getting out of my car, and before I knew it, I was on the ground, laying on my arm, and I had a hard time getting up because it hurt so much. And I was driving back home and thinking, I have a lot of pain in my arm. I can't hardly lift it. What am I going to do? Got home. Well, I knew what I was going to do, and I figured it would work, but you never know. Started putting Provantage in my body yesterday. I did it 3 times to allow the muscles to recover and whatever else Provantage does. And I put a couple Lunarich X, which we'll talk about in a minute, in those 3 shakes as well. And I am 98% free of all pain and soreness and discomfort this morning. So that Provantage is amazing. It's made for athletes and it helps with muscle recovery. But for me, it's my go-to when I fall on the ice. Energizes for hydration, and then we made it energize with less sugar if you want that version as well. They're really tasty. So the 2 other targeted solutions that also affect your immune system, the Lunarich X I just mentioned, that I use that along with the Provantage, and that was to keep inflammation at bay and help my body respond to that injury very quickly. We also use that, as I said, we're leaders in the world of epigenetics, and Lunarich affects our genetics. And it also affects our immune system. And we have a product specifically for that called Defense. And the ingredients in there with the adaptogens, the beta glucan, and the reishi mushrooms, there are thousands of studies on those nutrients and what they do for your immune system. We've also added another product line, and that is in the hemp market. So that became legal again. And long story about how that became illegal, but that's an interesting one. But Relive represents that market very scientifically and effectively with products that have third-party testing. They're organically grown, they're GMO and gluten-free, and there is a multi-step testing that you get a certificate of analysis that you know exactly what is in that bottle. And the bottle itself being opaque is important. So Relive does this market well and provides a great quality product. And that affects a lot of different things in your body, along with pain, anxiety, sleep, just to name a few. And the balm, well, you can bet I put that on my elbow yesterday and just wanted to hit it with everything I had in my medicine cabinet, which is really my food cabinet. So let's move on from the products to how you're compensated if you are a Relive distributor. And our compensation plan has 5 ways to earn income. Our company is very generous, and your goal is to build a distribution network. And that really happens as you give someone good customer service and help them get results. They often will tell somebody else about you, or they may decide that they want to join you in this business. But the compensation plan includes retail profits, which are anywhere from 20 to 40%, and you get to determine your profit level, wholesale level, and then overrides if you are a distributor at the I'm having a hard time talking. I'm going to grab a drink. My tongue is getting twisted up here. Overrides come into play when someone joins you at the highest profit level, and then you're eligible to also receive bonuses and trips and for the ambassador program. The $20 registration fee, I think, is just so little that it may keep some people from even believing that you can earn a very large corporate income with this company. So the retail profit is 20 to 40%, depending on where you position yourself. So if someone purchases $100 worth of product, you make anywhere from 20 to 40%. I love that everyone is a potential customer. I don't even have to know what issues someone is facing or if they're totally healthy. We don't have any drug interactions. We can be used in a pregnant mom. We can be used in a newborn baby. This product can be used in somebody that's over 100. I helped a lady that was on 23 different medications. We got her off of 21 of those medications, but I didn't have to worry about drug interactions when she started on our products. The only exception to that now is our RLV line. And so you want to know about some drug interactions with that. But as far as our nutrition line, our core, and our targeted, there are no interactions. So here's how you determine your wholesale profit and where you position yourself for retail profit or savings, however you want to look at that. There's basically this stair step that you can purchase $500 worth of product, get 25% off, have a little bit of product in your house to use, and save 25%. If you turned around and sold that product to someone, you would make 25%. You may want to purchase more product at one time, and that's really what this is about, purchasing this amount of product at one time, or in 1 month, I should say. Can be 500, 1,500, 3,000. If you purchase $5,000 in 1 month or have that kind of volume in your business, you're now at the 40% level. Initially, you will get that one purchase at 35% off. And so I guess the reason these two are kind of highlighted, 25 and 40, is that's the most common places people come into our business. Either they're not entirely sure yet and they're at 25%, or they really see the value in this business and these products. And the company allows us to distribute to ourselves, essentially. You know, if you just want to get a lot of product in your house and use it, you can do that. If you want to share it, you can do that. The only level that you have to repurchase that volume is at the highest profit level. Every other one, you can purchase whatever you want. And there's a 2-year shelf life on our products and free shipping right now on the 25% and the 40%. If someone joins you, if you're at 40% and someone joins you at 40%, there's no profit or difference anymore, or there's no difference anymore. So what that means is that now the company is going to pay you overrides, and overrides become the largest form of income over time. So if someone joins you, Susan, in this example, Relive is going to pay you 8% on every product that's used in Susan's group, except for her master affiliates. And they branch out below her. But everything that's used by her, her family, her customers, her distributors. Relive pays you 8% because you're the one that is helping, giving good customer service, training. You're doing work with these people to help them get started. Beyond that, if Susan sponsors someone on your second level, Jim, could be somebody in another country, could be her neighbor, Relive is going to pay you 6% of the products used in Jim's group. And you can see how this goes down in descending fashion. You're working less and less as more people get involved to do the helping part of this business. So what happens if you share with 3 people and you help them share with 3 people? Well, you just can do the math. And this is products in time and results driven. If you have 3 people that become master affiliates and they each do a $2,000 volume on a monthly basis, that gives you a $6,000 volume on your first level. And as we talked about already, Relive pays you 8%. So this is kind of branching out. Now you have Susan and 2 other people. The override on that is $480. If that duplicates down to the second level and each of those 3 people helps 3 other people and you're not doing all the work, that's what the beauty of this is that you are developing a residual income by helping people who help other people. But you now have 9 on your second level in this example. The volume there is 18,000. Remember, the override is 6%. And so now the override on that level is 1,008. And you can see how this grows over time as people stay on these products, people help other people, people get results. The income can grow substantially over time. I love this part, and I know there's Robert and Lauren, and they're on the training today. Obviously getting looks like a big check. Nice. So Relive is always paying bonuses, and they've offers trips. Right now we're waiting to see where the last trip is going to be. We haven't been able to take advantage of that as trip winners because of the virus situation, but what a great, generous company. There's an additional star director bonus that you can find out about. Just a generous company. I've worked for several corporations and I've never seen a company as generous as Relive. And the ambassador program is another way to earn income, to get recognition. There's going to be travel. I'm not sure what's happening with that this year, but I know next year they're planning to have travel with that program. And I love that we're paid to help others, and that's what ambassadors do. So we're going to move on to, if you're in this business, well, what do you do? And we call this the circle of success, where you identify people, you connect with them, you share the Relive story, you find out what they want to do, and you get them started is really how that goes. So identifying people, well, that's changed a lot, especially last year. A lot of us aren't out and about anymore. Another thing that's changed identifying people is we connect with each other differently now. So you still see people in your life that you can identify and start listing the people in your life that you want to share this great thing that you found, which is what it is. And so you might be thinking of your hairdresser, you might be thinking of friends, old neighbors, family. A lot of people think of the people that are right in their circle because those people are going to be more receptive than people that don't know you at all. But there's also people that we might identify on social media. A lot of us are networking through Zooms today, and we might identify people that way. There's a lot of ways to list or name or identify people that we would like to share this with. And that's really your first step, is identifying people that you are going to talk to, message, communicate, however you do that. So here's some memory joggers. These still apply. You might just go through your mobile phone list. You might start looking at your emails. Like I said, social media, a lot of people doing a lot of different things there. Who came to your wedding? Who'd you go to college with? All these are ways to start making your brain remember all these people that are in your life. And every day, as we do life, someone could pop up that you would add to your list. And you're making a list of people that you at some point, whether it's today, tomorrow, or next week, are going to get in touch with and offer them a chance to learn about what we do. So that is the next step. You identify them and then you start connecting with them. And there's no one way to do that. I think that is what's so nice about this is we don't have a script. I can just be me and connect with someone and say why I thought about them. Let them know that I'm getting results and that this is something that I think they should look at, or however you say it. And to me, it's different every time. Depends on if I run into somebody in the store, if I'm connecting with them through social media, just all kinds of ways to connect with people. And you're connecting with them to expose them to what you have. That's why we're connecting with them. And the way to expose them to what you have is by sharing your story, your belief, your heart. Past that, if they choose to see it, the real of story, the opportunity, the products. We have different ways to do that. We have great Zooms. We're going to talk about those, one of those that's coming out this week. We have all kinds of slides. We have all kinds of videos. We have people, we have all kinds of ways to start to help people see the real of story. It's about us as a company, our products, but it's about our results is one of the biggest things that we have to offer people. And I always love that it's not my job to convince someone that they need to take this product or get involved with this business. My job is to expose them to it. And then if they want to pursue it, then I will do a good job showing it to them. That's really my job. That takes the burden off of me. When I talk to someone, I'm not basing whether or not, if I talk to them, as I'm not basing it on whether or not I think they're going to say yes or no. I really don't know what they're going to say, but my job is to share this, and they can choose whatever they want. And that gives me freedom to share the story more often. So the fourth thing to do when you've exposed someone to this is to ask them, what do you think? Or where do you see yourself getting started? What do you like best about what I just shared with you? There's a lot of ways to ask people about what their thoughts are. And this was hard for me, is to just be quiet at that point and let them think for a minute. I also in the beginning struggled to ask that question. What if they say no? Well, in the beginning, sometimes we're afraid of no, but ask that question and let them talk, because they sat down with you for a reason. They're obviously interested in being there, and maybe they'd like to share with you their thoughts. So we definitely want to give them an opportunity to do that. They might at that point become a customer. They might become a distributor. They might become a master affiliate. So whatever they choose, as we always say, any decision you make is good. And then we get them registered with our company, get the RCN number for them, get them on their feet, get products to them, and get them going. If they're interested in our business, start setting them up to learn more and be exposed to more so that they can then build their Relive business. I'm going to talk about customer service in just a minute, but this is kind of along the lines of customer service at this point in the game, is following up with them, finding out, did you get your product? How did you make your shake? A lot of people say, I really love the Energize, but I don't like the Classic so much. Well, did you know you can put them together? Sometimes in all that they're hearing initially, they forget, or they forget what you said, or maybe you didn't say it. After you've worked with people for 15 years, I think sometimes you forget to say those things. We just take that for granted that they know it. Checking for consistency, checking on results that they're seeing, but I'm careful about that too early, because sometimes you don't see results for a while. But I think the biggest thing that we can do at this point is begin to follow up with them and let them hear more. So we help them take action immediately. We get the products in their hand if they want to get started. If they're wanting to share this with people and be a distributor, well, then we want to start helping them identify those people that they're going to talk to, share with them how to connect with them, help them through the process, and teach them how to share the Relive story. And the great thing is, they're not alone. They have you to work with them. They have sometimes a team of people to work with them. So what I want to talk about right now is customer service and the customer experience. And I heard a presentation on this through one of my networking groups, and I just thought it was so important in terms of what we do, to think about that all of the events that are experienced by our customers before and after the interaction are part of the customer experience. So I know that's all jumbled together. I just realized my slide is just all one paragraph, but let's break it apart. So when we start thinking about the customer experience, it really starts when you start introducing them to Relive. That's when it starts. And I think it's so important to be respectful, and to ask questions and to listen like we've always heard. I love Tammy Martineau and the way she shares her story and the way she interacts with people, because she'll say sometimes, would it be okay if I share this with you? She gets their permission. I heard her sharing her story one time for somebody that I connected her with. And when she asked them, would it be okay if I share this with you? Wow. I was like, wow, it's so cool that you want to know if I want to hear it before you tell me. And it's taught me to put that little piece in there, asking the permission. But we have to realize that the experience starts at the beginning, kind of like if you walk into a store. I don't know if you've ever walked into a store and it smells good, it looks good, we feel good, we want to be in there. Well, we don't have a store that people walk into, but they have us and they're interacting with us. So all these experiences that they have in their customer experience can involve their senses, their emotion, their rational thoughts. There's just so many aspects to that initial experience. I'll never forget when someone introduced me to Relive and how she did it and the way I felt. And it was very memorable. The most memorable part being she was kind, she wasn't pushy, and she let me hear the Relive story and the stories, the experiences that people were having that really helped me get on board, which I wasn't prior. So important that we are respectful and ask questions and are good listeners. We know what we have, but we have to introduce it to people in a way that they're going to be receptive to it. One of the things that I'm working with on someone's helping me on social media is, instead of stating, everyone needs to, or being so forceful about it, I guess. He's teaching me to use the word consider. Consider this. Have you thought about this? So we want to think about our words being more welcoming and not so authoritative, I guess, is how that could come across. So just using consider this, as we talk to people about Relive. So when we start helping them with their use of these products, I guess, is the point that I want to talk about now, that customer experience where someone decides to get started and we're doing great follow-up. They're meeting people, they're hearing more stories of evidence, they are learning about our company, they're learning about how to help themselves, they're meeting great people. They start to value us and the part that we bring to the table. And when they value us, they are likely to remain customers forever. And the other thing that they're likely to do is tell their friends, you've got to meet Dawn. She really helped me so much. And they put value on me. And when they do that, their friend will often want to talk to me and they value me. And then they get results and remain a customer. And then they tell their friends. So this customer experience that we give them really does start to trickle down into who else comes into your life because of that person's experience with you. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Again, Maya Angelou, I guess I like her a lot, but that is so true, that we want to make people feel cared for, nurtured, heard. So important that we make them feel at ease, that we're going to answer their questions, that they're not going to be pressured. And in the business side, that they're going to feel that they've got someone to help them, walk alongside of them. They need to feel your presence in that. So I love that quote, and I just feel like that's so appropriate for what we do too. So last one on this customer service and branding of yourself thought, and then we're going to move on to a couple other things. But it's so important to realize that you want people, of course, to be brand loyal to you and Relive. And customer experience impacts the willingness for someone to be brand loyal 74% of, is of their willingness to be brand loyal is the customer experience that they have. So we can't determine if someone's going to want to hear about Relive. We can't determine what someone's going to do with Relive, but we can determine our interaction and the experience that they have on our side when we're helping them and we introduce them to Relive. We want them to be loyal to this brand because that's the only way that they're going to get results. That's the only way they're going to build their business, is that loyalty that they'll have to it. Customers have 60% more power than they did 3 years ago. Well, obviously, even from 3 years ago, technology has changed a lot. Customers have so much ability to access so many different things, and marketing is changing. And they just have a lot of power to switch over to something else because there's so much coming at them all the time. So we want them to feel comfortable with us. We want them to feel well served by us. And we just want to take care of that part, which is in our control. They switch brands 59% of the time due to poor customer experience. And customers are willing to pay more. 40% are willing to pay more. So it's not even about cost. It's about that experience that they want. They want a good experience. And I think that's so important today, that we offer something that a lot of companies don't offer. And that's that connection. And in today's world right now, I think people are craving connection to people. So just all rolls together in our customer experience for people with how they feel about this brand and how they feel about their interaction with us. So moving on from that thought to the fact that there is a whole system in place to expose people to the stories that continually builds their wall of belief. And this happens over year after year after year, to continue to put bricks in your wall of what you're seeing from the Relive business and the Relive stories. I think it's so important that we use some of these time saver tools like our short and sweet call. Our short and sweet call is a wonderful way to expose people to a bank of stories. Excuse me. There's other ways to get people to hear stories, like on an opportunity meeting. They're going to hear people share their stories, which is so important to build their wall of belief. I think it's equally important in the system that we also have people that are willing to one-on-one share their stories over the phone, just a short, story, and to be able to hear what products they're using, or maybe ask them questions, or just hear that person's belief in what they have as you talk to them. And I fell in love with the people in Relive. It's one of the things that really drew me in. I love the people that I was able to interact with. So that people side of our system is so important. And not being able to go and do and be out, that doesn't take away our ability to be together as people through technology. The system helps people get results while continually exposing them to the stories and who we are, continues to build their wall of belief, which keeps them on board sometimes long enough to get their results and see what they want to see. So it's that system that we have in place that helps people get their results. The system helps customers and distributors think of people they can share with. I think of people all the time as I'm connecting people with other people, and I'm hearing things, thinking of people all the time. And I like to write down the people that someone mentions when I'm sharing Relive with them, maybe someone sharing their story, or even in the initial conversation that I have with them. Sometimes they say, well, this might be good for my sister, or I'm thinking about my neighbor. I always make notes on that, because you can bring that back to them and say, hey, you mentioned these people. Would you like me to help you share this with them? And you really can start walking the path of helping that person start to distribute to the people that they know. The system does develop leaders, and it definitely develops a residual income. I have grown so much in this Relive business. It has helped me personally grow to be a better person, because I need to do that to help people, to be able to be a leader of a team. I'm working on my skills, but I'm doing that because I need to. And the business has really brought that to me. And we're certainly surrounded by great leaders that help us grow in this business. And the residual income, well, that grows over time. So, in looking at some things that we have access to money wise, there is the top three bonus. And that's been in place for as long as I can remember. And there's an extra 1,000 if you're over 15,000. And so, this is a great goal to aspire to, is developing this form of income by creating a volume. And volumes, as you guys know, often occur over a period of 3 months. You might decide, this is what I want to do, and you start working, and it might be 3 months before that volume actually hits. But it takes time to expose people, to help them, and for people to make decisions. I was very different 4 months in than I was day one. I was very different 3 years later, and I'm very different today. People are going to make different decisions if you keep giving them an opportunity to do that. And often our volume will grow because someone has made a decision to move up in this on this purchase products, I guess is what I'm trying to say. The promo 123, I think that's here to stay for a while. Tom and Ryan love this program. They think it's something that really is helpful to us. And I have to say, I agree. I think this is a really smart program. I love that the company recognizes that it's not only important to sponsor distributors and to grow that way, but it's also important to retain customers and help customers. So I love that they're rewarding us for all of those things. And really, we all, to have a healthy business, need to have customers, we need to have distributors at different levels, and we need to have healthy master affiliate lines. So they're just throwing extra money at us for doing our job. I love that. We have some things coming up that are really going to be exciting, I think, with our training. So this is one of the trainings that's coming up next week. I know it's on my calendar, where Jen Eves is going to have a special guest, and there he is, Bob Montgomery. And they're going to talk about the vision for Relive and setting goals. So it's always important when Bob or Tom or Ryan will get on something like this, where they're going to be sharing with us what's going on with the company and their vision. I never want to miss an opportunity to do that. So that's this coming Saturday. And then March 6th, also on my calendar, is Roger Broberg. Always does a great job with training. And he's going to have a special guest, Tom Pinnock. So again, anytime our corporate leaders are going to be talking about what's going on in Relive and their plans for the future, I want to hear about it. So the important calls this week that are always in place, and I'm challenging myself to take advantage of these things more. They're great time savers. They're already put together for us, and they're awesome. The training call on Monday night, the Wednesday night opportunity presentation, and this week is going to be Richard Vance. If you've never heard him speak, he's a seasoned distributor in our business and always has great things to share, and has that great wall of belief that only comes with time. So if you're thinking of somebody that you'd like to introduce Relive to, it would be great to call them on Monday or Tuesday and say, hey, there's an opportunity for you to go online. You don't have to leave your home. You don't have to, nobody has to know you're even doing it. And you can hear from someone who has built a successful business with Relive. And Richard's wall of belief comes across through the Zoom. They feel that passion and belief that he has, and that sometimes transfers onto that person. I love the Thursday night short and sweet call. You know why? Because it's short and sweet. I always love if in 15 minutes I can get some great information, or I can say to someone, hey, do you have 15 minutes? This is a great way for you to learn. I've started texting before these events, or calling, but mostly texting and just saying, hey, if you have 15 minutes tonight, this is really going to be a good use of your time to just dial this number and hear the results we're getting with Relive. And sometimes when people can't be on, they might say, hey, I'm really interested in that, but I can't do it. You can always send them the replay. So, it's just always good to reach out to people that way and expose them to these calls that build their wall of belief. And then, like I already said, the Saturday morning training, you're on it today. Congratulations for being here. And next week is going to be amazing with Jen Eves and Bob Montgomery. So, as I told you, I talk really fast. I try to get the information out there, without a lot of extra words. So, I don't know if that's good or not, but I hope everybody got something from this morning's training, and that you just enjoy the rest of your Saturday and make it fun and have a good weekend. And thanks for joining me. Have a great week, everybody. Who are you going to share Relive with this week?